Hello, bonjour, namaste, ni hao, and ohio everybody. What is going on? It is Gil right here. Welcome back to the YouTube channel once again for another Danmachi Memoria Freese video. And today we're going to be testing out the newly buffed Alise and showcasing her in a couple of different scenarios, war games being one of them, and then another situation, probably in a PVE scenario, and seeing how good she actually can be. Now, of course, if you guys go on to enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and of course, leave a comment down below. Do you guys like the new Alise? Have you tested her out? If you have her already, if you've MLB'd her from ages back when she reran last year, or if you MLB'd her when she first came out in the 3rd year anniversary, how do you guys find her right now? Do you guys think she's good? Where do you guys think you would use her? And generally, what you feel about the buffs in total, about everybody. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say down below. Now, one more thing to note is that I will be doing showcases for Riveria and RD in the coming days, so be sure to get subscribed for that content. Of course, I think Riveria is going to be a surprise package. In all honesty, I think she's going to be fantastic. I know the Record Buster stage will probably inflate her a little bit. That's my expectation. I haven't seen the weaknesses or anything. I assume Riveria is going to be a monster in there because it's going to be weak towards water magic specifically. But I generally believe, just generally as well, she's going to be a phenomenal unit to have. So we'll definitely be testing her out in a later video. Now, let's look at Wargames and let's talk about Alise. Now, Alise is a very interesting unit. I personally don't think I can extract the best potential out of her personally with the team setup I have and the team I'm rocking, right? And I also believe the meta right now that we have in war games doesn't allow for her to be a phenomenal option. And I'll get into a couple of reasons as to why I believe that. Or I believe you should have a certain unit in order to be able to extract the maximum potential out of her. And in actuality, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually bring that unit in for myself, in all honesty. Low key, I might do that actually right here. So where is that bell? There he is. All right. So some of you guys may not know, but this bell basically is capable of doing a certain something that kind of counters the Alise. And I know I'm kind of, detouring a little bit by leveling up this bell, but it kind of fits into what I'm about to talk about. Now, the one thing about this Alise is that her kit has changed quite a bit, in all honesty. It's not a simple change of getting certain modifiers updated and stuff like that. Her kit's changed quite drastically. So the first thing about her kit that has changed, and this is more for a PvE scenario, is that her special arts now gives 90% allies boost to STR magic and fire attack damage rather than 60%, which is kind of nice. And especially if you're in a PvE scenario and you're trying to get a lot of damage from your allies and you need a unit that can support that well, and you're running a fire physical team, for example, or even a fire magic team, or a hybrid, I should say, because it gives both STR and magic, right? A fire team in general will be taking huge advantages from this sort of unit. On top of that, she's now changed her kit quite drastically when it comes to her skill. So the first thing that's changed is Inflamement is no longer a fast skill. Originally, this was a fast skill, so it would just go off first no matter what. But now it's changed to a normal attack, but she gives herself agility 70% for 5 turns. And then her second skill is now become fast, and it's updated the critical rate and penetration rate from 30% to 40%, and this has gone from 60% to 70% support, or not support, self buffs basically. And she's gotten the additional attacks. So this is a huge change because, one, she gives herself agility, which makes her extremely fast, and that is going to lead into Flaming Charge going off faster than most other units, right? But the problem with this Alise, and this is a big issue, is that because she gives herself agility, this Bell and Ryu, if you face this Bell and Ryu, or if you face a Vesta, it ends up becoming extremely strong against her, because what this Bell and Ryu does is it removes agility buffs, and because it's a slow super wind attack, it will go after the Alise no matter what. And that's an issue in just generally war games right now, in my personal opinion, is that you have these situations where this Bell and Ryu will launch off Immortal Gale basically, and then you're going to be stuck because your agility buffs have gone basically, and that initial turn you took to buff up your team to be able to basically go into the second phase and attack is gone. So that's a bit of an issue effectively, and one of the biggest problems with this Bell and Ryu is, or one of the biggest problems with Alise is that this Bell and Ryu exists along with Vesta. So a big issue lies within this unit in terms of PvP. Now, if in the future they were to release an assist that was capable of nullifying these removal, abilities from adventures, which would be insane, I think it's something that they need to consider doing, in all honesty, because it could lead to a different dimension, and it could change the meta on its head, because there are so many units that are capable of removing buffs, removing debuffs and stuff like that, and so on and so forth. I think having a unit like an assist like that could make things very, very special and very, very interesting in war games, in all honesty. But that's the issue with this Bell and Ryu. That is a significant issue with this Bell and Ryu, and it's something that's going to be a concern no matter what. So we're going to be testing this out. I'm going to be putting them into the team. I only have them at +1 because, of course, I wasn't able to, unfortunately, get more copies of this Bell and Ryu because I was low on Iris anyways right at the time. And on top of that, I was stocking back up for the Astrea record rerun, as well as the potential Hero Festa that might come out with this unit, right? So I'm going to be running this unit very, very in a very not so good situation, I would say, is the best way to put it, to be quite honest. I think that's the best way to make a statement. So let's put the breastplate back on again, and I'm gonna just hero ascend him to 3 stars so that he has at least some stats to survive with, right? Otherwise he's just gonna be taking a lot of damage for no reason, right? Especially being at only 6,500 HP is not good enough. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to give Alf to Alise, just so that we can get some damage going. I'm going to put him on balance. I think if I remember correctly from my showcase, balance was the way to go for Bell. I could be wrong, and we might have to rechange it in a second. But yeah, let's see how this goes. I'm curious to see how Alise will perform. It's going to be very interesting. And I gave her Alf as well because she gets 20% agility there, which means she will go first. Okay, that's not really the one attack I wanted to go. So balance goes for that. So I might have to go attack all, which is okay. Also, another issue with this Alise, and that's something I forgot to mention, which we'll talk about in just a moment, is that this Alise has considerably lower HP in comparison to modern day units. Now, we won this fight, all well and good, very nice. We just couldn't showcase Alise there in that situation, and it's one of the reasons why I actually wanted to go up against Wyatt, because he actually has Argonaut on his team, and it was one of the reasons why I wanted to actually test it out, is because if you look at the stats, right, Alise only has 8,300 HP in comparison to all the other allies in our team, all the other adventures being around 8,700, 9,400, 6,000, 10,000, 9,000. 6,000 is of course at +1, right? Alise is max hero ascension, MLB, everything's going first. She has a modern day assist with her, and she's only at 8,300. Melia is lower because, of course, Seer is an older assist as well, hence why the HP stat is lower. If I were to put, for example, maybe say, for example, I want to put maybe a modern day assist on her. Let's say I put this Alkitian. You can see a 200 jump there. It's not a significant amount, but that's also there. And on top of that, she's also sort of like she's a balanced unit, so that's why her stats are a little bit lower anyways. But the thing is, Alise being a physical attacker, older, is she shouldn't have this HP stat. I don't know why they don't buff the HP stat whenever they get their buffs. That's one of the things I would consider buffing as well. The HP stat, the MP, whatever it may be, bring it up to a modern day level. It would be amazing, but that's one of the issues with her. Now, I want to switch this back to attack all, actually, and see what happens here. Now, let's see if we can actually get away with maybe getting a guard off the counter. I think that would help us tremendously, because we can actually test it out. Or if maybe somebody else attacks, please. Okay, we got a guard off, which is great. We're still going to take a hit there, which is going to get us dead, but that's okay. And then we get Immortal Gale off, which is nice to have. All right. But yeah, that's one of the issues with Alise, is that she just takes too much damage there, and it just ends up, going up in flames, basically. And if you're going up against an Argonaut and Tiona that's capable of dealing damage, now, of course, if you can set up with a Artemis or Chloe in the front line, and then maybe Chigusa backline to basically give you that freedom of basically taking no hits from physical attacks, you're in a good spot. But that's one of the issues with this Alise, and it's unfortunately one of the reasons why I'm probably not going to be able to showcase Alise in great light right here, purely because of her lower HP stats and stuff like that. Now, you can, of course, get some decent HP stats going, of course, because remember, when you're going up against a unit like, for example, okay, this is a good situation to be in, I think. When you're going up against, for example, let's see, Argonaut's gonna deal a lot of damage here. Yeah, that's fine. well, it's not fine. We're going to lose here, but it was closer for sure. It was much closer for sure, but it's unfortunately something we'll have to we just have to deal with. When you're going into a fight like this and you get countered or you're taking a lot of damage, Alise will be the first to die because of her low HP, and that's a significant problem. It's unfortunately something we can't really also show off because a lot of players are going to have units that will basically take us down tremendously, right? Even if we go up against stall teams, it's not going to really work as well, because in all honesty, stall teams are really, really annoying. But it's something that you kind of just have to sort of deal with and sort of get around with. And I think, and this is the reason why, while I do believe Alise is a phenomenal unit and she'll be fantastic for PvP and stuff like that, right? There is also something I have to add when it comes to Alise, is that Alise will probably get a huge buff in the near future because of, I mean, look at that. That's not bad damage. Remember, we're going up against a stall team here. Remember that this is a stall team. So we're going up against extremely powerful opponents here. Opponents that are, you know, not taking a lot of damage whatsoever because of the fact that they're so strong, right? But I was gonna say, with Alise, I think she's going to be significantly stronger once part 2 comes out, once part 3 comes out, and once the extra part comes out, because one, in part 2 we're gonna get Kaguya. Fire physical Kaguya is going to help her out, in my opinion, quite tremendously, assuming they do the right thing with her. They build her correctly, and if she becomes basically like the fire physical version of the Dark Kaguya, I think she will be a phenomenal option to go alongside the Alise, in all honesty. So if we go down here, right, this is the Kaguya I'm talking about. This Kaguya, if she's provided the right sort of materials and the right sort of kit, and they make her and they design her correctly, because right now this Kaguya isn't that hot. But if given the right tools and if given the right buffs, I think she can become an insane option to go alongside that Alise, in all honesty. The other reason why I say part 3 is because this fire magic Alise can also kind of fit into that team extremely well, provided they give the right tools to this unit, because she gives fast damage received, attack type all targets plus 30%, which I can see getting an upgrade to 40%. And then you give her all of this, and you know, if all three of them cohesively work together extremely well, we could see a strong fire team being built right there and then. Furthermore, I also added the fact that maybe in the extra story we could get something to help the fire physical team, or the fire team I should say. And that is potentially if they drop a Hero Festa, Zard, and Althea, and if one of them end up being a fire unit, that's also a game changer. That's a huge game changer, assuming they're designed right, assuming they're going to be insanely strong, just like the Argonaut, just like the Bell and Astreus. I was about to say Argonaut, but if it's like the Bell and Astreus, and they are going to be as strong as them, and one of them are a fire unit, boom, it's going to be a phenomenal option for this team, and they're going to be insanely strong. So that's something to bear in mind. Galeriot and I Do Not Disturb video, come on, it's never not going to happen. So yeah, that's what I believe with this Alise. I think she's a phenomenal option right now. Even if you're just starting off, I think you should go for her, because the potential for her team is ridiculously high. You know, there is so much potential, and if you want to start building a team up, I think for new players, Alise is a great option. And I mean, of course, you can get Riveria and Finn along the way, who are also decent assist options. Now, if you go into the 7th zone, and I want to see if it's a multiple stage, it's a multiple stage, which is perfect. Now, I want to go into the stage, and I'm going to be using her as a testing purpose. We'll be using her as a testing purpose. I'm going to go back to, where's my light team? Okay, this is my light team right now. Of course, I'm using a light team, so this isn't really a perfect scenario to be in. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna be testing it out. So I'm gonna remove Finn. Actually, I'll remove Finn for now, so that we can actually test out Alise, and I can actually see how she will perform in this situation. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna edit the skill flow as well, and we're gonna set her up in a way where she's basically doing the same amount of damage and everything. We can actually see her performance in tandem with these other units as well. So yeah, okay, that's perfect. I'm gonna just add some more attacks here as well, just to make sure that she's getting super attacks and stuff. So basically, she's gonna special arts alongside Finn, Bell, and we're gonna see how much damage she does. So this is our testing ground for basically seeing how well she will perform in a sort of PVE scenario. Now I could probably also do this. I'm gonna use this Memoria instead, just so that we can see her damage in a proper light when compared to other units, so that, you know, it's not like the light units are looking much stronger because of the Memoria. From turn 6 to 10 they're gonna deal a lot more damage, right? I'm gonna use this this Memoria instead because it gives us fire and light attack damage both equally, so we can see how both perform in an equal playing ground. All right, so let's have a look-see and see what happens here. I think everybody has the right attributes. Okay, beautiful. Just needed to make sure. I know obviously stun anklets would probably be better here, but that's fine. I just want to see how this goes. So again, one of the biggest issues I am concerned about in this situation is probably, again, her HP being considerably lower in comparison to other units. I mean, even if I move my mug over to the right hand side, it's what I'm gonna do here. You guys can see already that Alise is at a much lower HP. Her HP went away, but you guys must have seen that her HP is like at around 32 at 5,300 in comparison to the 6,000 of Fianna, well, now 8,000 of Bell, but that's because of the barrier, but he had 6,000 beforehand. So while Alise is a strong unit, it's not like it's a significant point. Okay, I might all right, I may need to take over here. I completely forgot that they were on single target mode right now. Whoops, my bad. But she was doing 50,000, I think, or 5. I don't know how much she was doing there. I didn't pay attention because I realized immediately that I was using single target skills on them. So let me see. So 314,000, 87,000 from Alise. Now I will admit, I am not using assists that favor Alise technically, because we have light attack damage bonuses from Al-Kitian. We have the equal amount of light res and fire res, right? So that's not really something to worry about. Oh frick, I forgot. Whoops. Okay, I completely forgot we were in the dark zone, so I didn't realize we were going to be going up against that. Okay, I'm gonna have to okay, my bad. That is my bad. Let me just change everybody's skills back to square one again as well while we're here. Yeah, I didn't realize we were in the dark zone. I'm not gonna lie. That's my bad. That is actually my bad. I just didn't pay attention. I wasn't paying attention whatsoever. That's on me. That is absolutely on me. What I'm gonna do as well though, just to make things a little bit more equal, is instead of Al-Kitian, I'm gonna drag in and use potentially somebody else that's more going to level things out, level the playing field a little bit, and not allow for us to basically you know, have to effectively deal with potentially, you know, a sort of mismatch basically. So where's Aphrodite? Actually, there she is. Okay, we're gonna use Aphrodite because she gives us AoE damage increase along with god rate, counter rate, and stuff like that. So this is a better testing phase. That's my bad. I will admit, I apologize. I completely forgot what we were going up against. I just kind of went into auto mode. So this is a little bit of a better testing ground because both of the resistances are equal, and the Apollo at the back gives us both light res and fire res minus 15%, which is a great equal sort of playing field. And furthermore, there's no sort of light attack damage increase or anything of that sort. Whew, that's a lot of damage. Again, it's one of the reasons why I said I'm concerned. It's really annoying because a lot of damage is taken there. It's one of the reasons why I always get a bit worried about taking a unit like this. So it's not bad. She's doing a lot more damage than Fianna, which is very impressive. Very impressive already. Obviously she gives herself a buff which makes her stronger, right? She's giving herself fire attack damage and light and STR, right, which is really strong. But comparing her to even Bell, right, Bell is a Hero Festa unit and he's doing 114k. Alise is doing 100k, which is not bad at all, you know. And even because her stats are a little bit lower, she's actually more likely to counter in comparison to Bell or Fianna, which is kind of weird of me to say that, but yeah, that's a positive in a way. 114k damage now, but that's also because of course they've removed the resistances on them, which is good, which obviously gives us more damage there. But yeah, compare the damages from all these units. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch off the icon so you can see the damage more better off now. We don't need the icons anyways. 153k, 144k. This is some really good damage in all honesty. I think, like I said, I actually do have all the faith in the world when it comes to Alise being a phenomenal PvE unit. And I do believe she's going to be a phenomenal PvP unit. It's just that right now in PvP, the way everything is going about it with agility removals, agility buff removals and stuff like that, it does become a little bit of a problem where, you know, it's just not feasible to run her, in my personal opinion, especially if you're going up against certain teams. That being said, I think if you're a starting player and you're trying to get into King 3, King 2 and stuff like that, this Alise is a phenomenal option. So 1.3 million there. I'm very curious to see how much Alise will do here. 600k. So now that's where I will say that Alise kind of lacks a little bit, you could say, is she's not going to deal so much damage on her special arts purely because of the fact that her ability comes down to being a supporting special arts rather than a actual damage dealing special arts. So you're going to notice her damage being a little bit lower in comparison to most other units, I would say. So that's something to bear in mind, of course. But yeah, all right, so that's Alise done and dusted. I just wanted to bring her in here to test her out and show you guys her damage. Again, I think she's got some really good damage. Of course, if you're running like a fire physical team and stuff and you want to use her in that team, she's going to be phenomenal. And I think just generally as well, she's a brilliant option for most players as well. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about Alise, if you've used her, if you tested her out. If you tested her out in PvP in a better team, let me know what team you guys ran. Of course, I wish I could run some other options as well. I was thinking of trying to see if I could run other options, maybe like run Haruhime with her, the Christmas Haruhime, Noir Ryu as well, to just kind of help her out a little bit more. But the problem is I don't have those units at a high level, and I feel like I'm gonna just get eviscerated if I put them into the team. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about the unit as well. Let me know what you guys think. Hopefully I could show her in a decentish light. Of course, I believe like she could be shown in a better light as well, potentially, right? And I might bring her back in the future when we do get the Kaguya buffs and stuff like that. But for now, this is how she performs. This is how I think she's this is how I believe she will perform in most players' team. And I think in PvE, she's a great option as well. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. And of course, tomorrow you guys can stay tuned. We're going to be going up against the Record Buster stage with Riveria. So be sure to check out for that video. I will be dropping another Record Buster video later today as well. Just a general light team video. But tomorrow will be the Riveria Record Buster run. So be sure to check out that showcase video tomorrow. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take it easy, everybody. Bye-bye.